Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is me, Dr. Amna Khalid. Let's have a brief introduction about me. I have done my DPT from GC University, Faisalabad. I worked as a PGR at New Hospital, Lahore, also an MPhil scholar at King Edward Medical University, Lahore. I'm working as a research officer in College of Physical Therapy at Government College University, Faisalabad. Okay, today's our topic is how to read a research paper and what is data mining. These things at the same time are different but interrelatable. Let's take a brief review at how to read a scientific paper. Uh, my strategy is different from rest of the researchers in a sense that I don't believe in theoretical knowledge. So that's why I have chosen a article over there. ठीक. Research paper. Uh, okay. Research paper, as you can see on my screen, here is first of all a title saying prevalence and risk factors of low back pain among the office workers of King Edward Medical University, Lahore. Being a medical professional, I have chosen the medical topic so that it would be easier for me to convey in a more convenient method. Okay. First of all, many of you people may not have seen a research paper that how it looks, what is a research paper is about. So first of all, let's discuss about the main headings of the research paper. For this, you can see on my screen showing the title anatomy of a paper. You can say that the structure of our research paper. uh, if we talk about the structure of a research paper, you can see there are multiple subheadings saying title and authors. What is title and what who are the authors of the research paper? Then coming next is the abstract summary. Okay. Next is introduction. Introduction is somehow a detailed portion of the research paper. Next is materials and methods. Materials and methods is all about the methodology of your research paper. Next is results, discussion, acknowledgements. End of the research paper is references. And in some cases, you come across the figures and tables of the research paper. Okay. Coming back to the research paper, you can see here is the title of the research paper that we discussed uh, previously, prevalence and risk factors of low back pain. Further, you can see there is a list of authors, names saying Sayyid Asadullah Aslan, Muhammad Rezahuddin, and so on, along with their affiliation. Now, what is affiliation? Affiliation means the institute, the organization which you are affiliated with. Say, for example, I'm affiliated with New Hospital Lahore, I'm affiliated with Government College University, whatever the institute you are affiliated with. Next is abstract. Okay, abstract could be of two types, having headings or without headings. You may see an article having headings, as you can see on my screen as well: purpose, method, results, conclusion. On the other side, you can see an abstract having simple line sentences, a paragraph form. uh, doesn't make any difference. It is basically the demand of the journal, saying that you must have abstract having headings or you must have abstract having no headings. Okay. So it's totally up to you. Your institute demand your journal where you're supposed to publish your research. So what these are headings are telling us about: purpose. What is the purpose of your research? Why are you doing this research? What is the worth of this research? What is the basic purpose behind doing this research? What is the importance of this research? You are going to explain the purpose of your research in this section. Next is methods. Okay. If you are explaining the purpose of your research, you are supposed to have 1 to 2 lines on the explanation of your problem or your title. As you can see in this purpose, he is going to end of the line is saying that the musculoskeletal problems can result in inconvenience or pain. he is explaining the title as well. You can explain your title in one line, two line, but don't exceed so much. You are supposed to minimize the data over there. Next comes the methodology of your research paper. What is methods and materials and methodology? Materials and methodology is going to explain the core of your research, the statistical portion, the methods, the strategy, whatever you are going to do in your research. You are supposed to summarize all these things under this heading. Now next is the results. Many students confuse between the results and conclusion. Both are same things. The basic difference between results and conclusion is that in results portion you are going to explain your research results in numerical data. You can see in this article as well. See the figure. Results are shown in numerical value. On the other side, in conclusion portion, there are no facts and figures, no numerical value. You are just explaining your research results in sentence form. Okay. Okay, on the extreme left side of the article, you can see the date of receiving this specific article, accepted date, and keywords. Keywords must be very specific and appropriate to your research paper. These are the words that would help others to search out your research paper if in case your data has been published or people are able to search your research on any search engine. Okay, moving on, next is the introduction portion. As I told you before, introduction portion is comparatively a lengthy portion where you are supposed to explain your problem in detail. First of all, you will explain your problem, you will define your problem. Say, for example, here we have an article on low back pain. I'm going to explain what is low back pain. The next portion will be on the prevalence of the problem. Okay, why prevalence of the problem? Prevalence of the problem basically depicts the importance of your problem, that how much percentage of the population is suffering from this typical problem. So it will help you out in strengthen up your research. Next you will explain the rest of the things. Okay, end of the introduction portion, I have highlighted this portion with green color. This is basically the rationale of your study. Well, now what is the rationale of your study? The rationale of the study means the importance of your study. What is the basic purpose? What is the aim? What is the purpose behind doing this specific research topic? Okay, as you can see, the main goal of this study was to find out the prevalence. ठीक? Okay, now what is the main goal of this study was to check the prevalence. Okay, everyone is supposed to write up their rationale, and it could be vary depending upon your purpose or your type of study. Now, next is materials and methods. This portion is quite tricky, difficult, rough, but at the same time very important to understand because materials and methodology portion is going to discuss all about your research main core main methodology of your research paper. Say for example, how we can know about the sample size of the research paper, how we can know what was the basic study methodology, study design, how data was collected, what was the statistical tools were used, data analysis, or rest of the things. Okay, let's discuss one by one. First of all, you can see the green heading in the second line saying the sample size of 300. If I want to know how much sample size was calculated about this research paper, I'm going to jump into materials and methods section. Now I'm going to read out and figure it out how much sample size was taken. And I found that the sample size of this research paper was 300. Okay. Now the next is um, inclusion and exclusion criteria. Okay, he was supposed to collect data from only 18 and 20 years old population because most of the office workers fall between this specific custom range of selected age group. Next is inclusion exclusion criteria. Now, what is inclusion and exclusion criteria? Inclusion criteria means a specific set of parameters that I have made that I have made, that which type of people can only come to my research. Or what is exclusion criteria? Again, the same set of parameters saying that these population having these things will be excluded to from my study. Say for example, the exclusion criteria of this study was any of one of you people having recent surgery, trauma, pregnancy, multiple problems that they have listed over there. They said that the people having these problems will be excluded from our research. Okay, this is inclusion and exclusion criteria. Now the next question that mostly students ask from teachers, from their supervisors, from their seniors, that how we can find a specific questionnaire regarding our research paper. Yeah, research thesis, synopsis, whatever you're going to do, what you are supposed to do. It is not always the same case that you are going to find the research questionnaire on the internet, yeah, or research engine. Sometimes you are supposed to develop your own questionnaire that is known as self-made questionnaire. So in this case, students find the worry about developing a questionnaire. They don't know how to make questions, what should be added, what should be excluded. In this case, the best strategy to make a questionnaire is to check the materials and methodology of the research papers regarding your title, and just jump into the materials and methodology section and find out what type of questions they have asked in their research. So you can simply pick up those questions and add into your questionnaire and making your own self-made questionnaire. Say for example, we can say, okay, you can see this section with blue heading. Okay, here we can see a number of questions regarding work experience, number of hours spent on sitting, number of hours spent on computer use, standing time frequently, bending during work. Okay, if I'm going to develop a questionnaire, I am supposed to pick up all these questions and put this into my questionnaire. And here you can make your own self-made questionnaire. At the end, this is the most important thing. You can see the SPSS 21. Many people will find it surprisingly different. What is this SPSS 21? Some of people will ignore and will pass on to the next session. But SPSS 21, 22, 23, you can find any version of SPSS. Basically, it is a statistical analysis software. Okay. If you are a researcher, if you are going to do a research, you are going to analyze your data at some point of your research, then SPSS is going to help you out. Okay, now the next session is about again materials and methods. Okay, if you don't want to read all the lines over there, you can simply find a table having questions. If you are developing your questionnaire, you can simply check the table and see what are the questions they are asking in the research paper. You can simply follow those questions and make your own questionnaire. Okay, the next portion is about the results. As we have discussed about the results and conclusion, results is about the numerical value, numerical data, facts and figures. Say for example, here we can have an example. See, results. I have highlighted this portion again in different colors. The participants were divided into obese and non-obese groups. Okay, they have divided the people into two groups, obesity, non-obesity. Okay, The results were concluded in numerical value. You can see the two digits over there, 46.2 against 76.9. Okay. The next is green portion. That was a question about the low educated workers compared to high educated workers. Again, the result was found in numerical value. No, the next is discussion is quite tricky, and sometimes people find it very difficult to understand, like what is the discussion portion, what is we are supposed to do in this specific discussion portion, how we are going to write the discussion portion of your research. Discussion is basically comparing your results with the rest of the study results of the different researchers in the whole world. You can compare your results with any of the international national research that have been done in the past. Okay, you are currently doing your research, but you are going to compare your results with the rest of the studies that have been done in the past. Say for example, I'm working on low back pain in 2021, and I'm going to conclude my results, and I found that the prevalence of the low back pain in Pakistan is quite high. Now how I'm going to compare these results with the rest of the researchers in the world? I will pick up any 10 to 15 articles of my choice. I will see the conclusion of their results. Then I will write up that this researcher that once concluded the research on low back pain in UK, Australia, whatever the place he belongs to, concluded that the prevalence of low back pain in UK was 79%. And in Pakistan, I have conducted the same study, and I have found that the prevalence of low back pain is 82, 85%. It means we can compare both results, and we both have concluded the same thing. But this is not the case every time. Sometimes you may find conflicting results as well. Say, for example, I'm saying that there is a higher prevalence of low back pain, but the other research that have done research in the past, I'm saying that the prevalence of low back pain is quite low. Okay, but this is not the problem that you have done something wrong, you have done something different. It could be due to multiple reasons. Say for example, in Pakistani people may have sedentary lifestyle, poor health status, no exercise routine. This could be the contributing factor that have changed your results from other researchers, but you are going to add these results as well. Okay, positive and negative both. Let's take a look over there. Okay, this study concluded that the increased weight increases the percentage of low back pain. Okay, he concluded that if you have overweight, if your BMI increases, the percentage of low back pain will also increase. Okay, next, the previous, he is going to compare his results with the other researchers, saying that previous studies have reported that exercising habits were no significant predictors of low back pain prevalence, but the current study has demonstrated a positive association and reported that low back pain decreased with the increase of exercise session in a week. You can see that this is a conflicting result. This study proved that exercise habits were not significant, but the other studies says that there is a positive association between exercise and low back pain. Okay, now next portion is, okay, I was talking about the table of uh, materials and methodology. If someone is lazy, if someone is not interested in reading the lines and then figuring it out how to find the questions for their questionnaire development, you can simply find a table. You can look for a table having a question. Here you can see the multiple questions: gender, marital status, BMI, education level, exercise, number of exercise session per week, sleep disturbance. Okay. uh, okay, we have so many questions over there. You can see, if you want to develop your questionnaire, it's not a big deal. It's so simple, it's so easy, and it's so time saving method. You can simply check the materials and methodology section. You can simply see a table, and you can pick up all those questions and make your own questionnaire. Okay, next is acknowledgement. What is acknowledgement is about? Acknowledgement section depicts the acknowledgement of your research. What you are going to acknowledge is you, it could be your institute you're affiliated with, it could be anyone, it could be your parents, your teachers, your siblings, your friends, your seniors, whoever helped you out in conducting your research. We're going to acknowledge them one by one in your acknowledgement session. Say for example, we can see they have acknowledged the King Aeromedical University, they have acknowledged the Tehran University of Medical Sciences, Iran. Okay, you can acknowledge anyone who have supported, who have contributed, who have helped you out in conducting your research. You are acknowledge them. You are going to acknowledge them in your acknowledgement section. Next is conflict of interest. Conflict of interest depicts that if your research has any kind of conflict, if there is no conflict, you're going to declare that this specific study has no conflict of interest. Now, the next is references section. Reference is basically the bibliography, whatever the data you have extracted from other research papers, research articles, you are going to put the reference of those specific articles in this section over there. Okay. Now, this was all about how to read a research paper. Data mining, what is research paper, how it looks like, what are the basic headings of a research paper, what data you can extract from your research paper. We have discussed everything in detail. Okay, let's get back to the slides again. This Okay, now next comes to next slide is reading techniques. There's a specific techniques. First of all, is skimming, scanning, intensive reading, extensive reading. Skimming is basically is kind of a quick reading technique. Say for example, if I download a research paper, I simply go through the title, go through the conclusion section, and find out if this article would be helpful for me or not. This would be a scheming. Okay, if I go quite deep into the reading techniques, reading a research paper, this would be a scanning. Okay, next is intensive and extensive reading. Intensive reading, extensive reading are detailed and time taking procedure, but these reading will help you out if you are going to extract data from any research paper, any research article. Then you are supposed to have intensive and extensive reading. Say for example, you are going to check the materials and methodology, you are going to check the sample size, study design, the questions, the exclusion criteria. Then you can't have overview, you can't have a schematic scanning strategy. You are supposed to have intensive extensive reading, you are supposed to spend massive time on reading the research paper. Then you will be able to extract data from the specific research paper. Okay, I have cropped that article and put over there in the slides to help you understand that what is title and author names. I have discussed already about the title and author list. Okay, next is abstract and summary. Abstract and summary is basically is the brief, very brief, concised summary of your article. Okay, if I'm not interested in reading the whole 10 to 15 pages of the article and I want to know all about the 10 to 15 pages of the article, I will simply go to the abstract, I will simply read the summary and will know everything about the article. It is basically a time saving method. Now you can see A 10 to 15 pages article has been summarized into almost half of length of the paper, that is known as abstract. I have shown you that before. Next is introduction. We discussed about introduction portion as well, that you are going to explain the background and all details of your research problem in the introduction heading. And most importantly, at the end of the introduction section, you are going to explain the rationale of your study. Now, how to approach the introduction? Okay, you are going to get a lot of data for your research paper from the introduction heading of other research papers. How you can extract your data from introduction portion. Say for example, I'm going to write a research paper of my own choice, but I'm needing data on my research problem. I will download multiple papers. Okay, then I will figure it out what lines I'm needing for my research paper. I will simply write up those lines in case of mini notes, sticky notes. I will draw figures and making notes that I will add these lines of these research papers in my research article as well. But don't forget to cite that research paper and write the reference as well. Okay, materials and methods. We have discussed in detail about the materials and methods in detail. Okay, we have discussed about the things that we can extract from this specific heading. Results, already discussed that the facts and figures, numerical values you will be discussing over there. Discussion, already discussed. By now, you may be tired of this paper, but don't relax yet. Save energy for the overall reflection and criticism. Okay, research is not easy as we perceive, but it is not as much difficult as we have listened from our seniors, teachers, that research is going to give you a tough time. But if you know to do smart work, you know how to save your energy and where to spend your energy, you are going to be a great researcher. Okay, acknowledgement section, we have discussed about the acknowledgement section as well. References, and here the lecture ends. I hope it will be a great lecture for you and it will be understandable for you. Please like and share, subscribe CSA Pakistan, and Allah Hafiz.